The Spud Goodman Show.
Hello there. We've got to stop meeting like this. Welcome to the Spud Goodman Show. Yes, this is the program that your friends, neighbors, and countrymen have warned you about. Our esteemed host, Spud Goodman, has a real visceral effect upon viewers, similar to a minor case of carbon monoxide poisoning. Tonight, Spud visits with legendary cooking expert Julia Child, ex-football player, now actor Brian Bosworth, and musically brings you Evan Dando of the Lemonheads. Right now, let's check in with Spud's father, Sparky, as he deals with a pending paternity suit.
So is it true?
Yeah, where did you hear about it?
I think I overheard Uncle Steve and Jerry discussing it. There was talk about the birds and the bees, and well, I just happened to walk right in the middle of it.
Uncle Sparky, no offense, but how could this happen at your age?
What? Do I have to have the little talk with you too?
Well, I understand biology and procreation, but...
Well, wait a minute. Just how far along is she anyway?
She says 4 weeks and 2 days.
Are you excited to be a father again?
What? Are you kidding?
Sparky, you are the first that I know of who's actually had a paternity suit filed against them.
I think that my hairdresser went through this a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it'll never stick, believe me.
Have you figured out how much child support is going to cost you over the next 18 years? And that does not include college and graduate school.
When's the baby shower?
Listen up, gentlemen. I am a dues-paying member of the Zero Population Growth Chapter in Seattle.
Isn't that the organization that tells you to quit having kids?
Do you think they're going to kick you out?
I got fixed 19 years ago. Let's just say that the door has been slammed shut on the kid option.
So this must come as a real shock.
Yeah. Didn't your doctor guarantee his work?
You guys don't get the picture. I have never slept with this woman.
Which is what makes this really amazing. It's only happened once before that I know of.
It's a scam, okay? A hoax. I met her at an audition for my Thong-a-Thon pilot, and she's been stalking me ever since.
Really?
So I don't need to shop for a shower gift?
Not at this time, Samuel. Listen, I've got to go call my attorney. He's going to set up a blood test for me. I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later, Sparky.
I have to say that I'm really disappointed.
What about, Samuel?
Well, what with Spud being childless, it would have been nice to have a new little cousin. Someone to give my old dolls and baseball glove to.
All I know is what I heard, and it is going to be really weird to suddenly have a little brother or sister at my age.
I can sense that we may have to deal with a serious case of sibling rivalry here. Maybe we should start today's session with a talk about sharing toys.
I don't have a problem with sharing. Maybe I do always eat that last piece of pizza at group gatherings. I mean, somebody has to. Everybody's always hovering around it, afraid to take action, feigning disinterest. I mean, most of the time, nobody eats it. I've overcome that obstacle.
I'm referring to sharing the love and attention of your father. He is a finite resource.
The kid can have them. I certainly hope he or she implements proper security measures with a piggy bank, because he robbed me blind.
Spud, I'm concerned that a birth of a new sibling will maybe unleash repressed feelings of resentment towards your father.
Repressed? I mean, how much more open can I be about this guy short of putting a contract out on him?
Displaced anger is what I'm referring to, Spud. Rejection, alienation, and emotional abandonment can lead one to do and say unfortunate things.
All I know is the kid better not plan on making take the son or daughter to work days unless he or she digs the racetrack or smoky card rooms.
Was your father's lack of a formal career embarrassing to you growing up?
How many times can a kid lie and tell people his father's between assignments for the CIA as a double agent spy when he's sleeping one off on the couch?
Your time is up, Spud. Next week we'll talk about sharing toys and how to be an upstanding member of the society. It's never too late.
Don't touch that dial. Spud will return in just a moment.
This is the Spud Goodman Show.
If I could be the dummy on your knee.
gotta love our first guest. Spud heard she was in town and thought it would be a fine opportunity to scam some free food. Here she is, cooking goddess Julia Child.
Now, Julia, I'm not exactly a whiz in the kitchen, though I have to tell you, I have come up with some pretty keen recipes using Cheese Whiz, but I know there's more to life than just dipping a Triscuit into something gooey. Can we talk about cooking and how it relates to the common man sitting alone at home?
You've already got a spatula.
I do have a spatula. I have this at all times.
So you can cook a fried egg.
I can cook a fried egg. That is correct.
And a hamburger.
And a hamburger. I'm pretty good at
Well,
that.
that's a very good beginning.
Well, you know,
And can you toast a roll all right?
I'm not that great at toasting it. I always do burn things.
Well, that's because you're not looking at it. I burn things too. You can't.
Julia Child has burned
do-
something? I guess now I don't feel so abnormal singeing my father's nose hairs with his Bic lighter. Now, there are a lot of viewers out there, my viewers, they're a little intimidated by the art of cooking. You know, what would you say to them to kind of relax them, to tell them that...
Well, I think start right in and start cooking. But remember to look at it, or it will all burn up.
I like that.
You keep running into people who say that their mothers are always burning things, but they're probably chatting away on the telephone and forgetting to look at what they're doing.
Well, speaking of mothers, I want to tell you this. You know, growing up until I moved out of my family home at about age 23, my mom served like meatloaf 5 out of the 7 days a week. Occasionally, she'd break out manhandler Salisbury steak dinners on special occasions. But, you know, I'm kind of gastronomically challenged. Is there ever too late to develop new eating habits? What do you think?
No, you can. Well, I didn't start my television until I was 52. That's about
kidding.
Twice as old as you are.
You started your television show at 52?
I started at 52, so there's hope for everyone.
Maybe it's not too late for the big career change, but you know, you just don't see that many world-class fungus collectors these days. When Julia Child has a really rough day, okay, and she kicks back, does she ever say, I'm too tired to cook, I'm calling out for pizza? This is off the record. What do you think?
Well, I'd eat a cookie and that would give me more energy to go on. What kind of food do you like to make?
What kind of food do I like to make?
Or do you like to eat?
Well, I'm pretty good at making pigs in a blanket. Or for that matter, Jell-O in a blanket, Doritos in a blanket, or even head cheese in a blanket. The possibilities are endless. For the beginning cook out there, is there any type of a recipe that you would say that there's no way they could screw it up? Is there something in this book where there's no way that one of my viewers could possibly screw it up? What do you think?
Well, I think you can screw up most anything.
Can you?
So, yes, like not...
And I guess the key is just to shake it off and get on with it?
Boiling water, one can usually do, but then if you don't watch it, it'll boil off.
All
So I
right.
don't think there's any way out.
Well, Julia, your most memorable moment in the kitchen then, to this point?
Been talking with you.
That meant a lot to me. I thank you very much. There you have it, Ms. Julia Child. Can I take a few of these home with me?
You may.
All right, super. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know he's considered a hunk, but our musical guest tonight has paid his dues over the years. You might want to check out his band's latest CD on Atlantic Records, Car Button Cloth. It's really good. From the Lemonheads, here's Evan Dando.
Let's talk about the fame thing quickly. You know, give me the upside and the downside in like 5 words or less on each.
I don't know. I've always thought of it as just like being in a band, doing whatever nonsense you have to
Like stuff like this.
Yeah. There's a lot of worse things you could do, but you got to take it all with a grain of salt. You know, it's not a big deal. You know, people are gonna make fun of you. You know,
it happens in music too.
It's worth it.
It happens in music too,
Yeah,
not just TV, huh?
But you know, you're sticking you're ready to take your pants down in public basically by singing on stage. So, but look, you know, all I want to do is eat off it, and it seems to be I'm able to eat off it, so I'm very happy.
I heard you're eating well.
I'm eating rather well.
All right.
Crunch berries.
Crunch berries, of course.
Yep.
Well, I think I'm in the mood for some tunes. Let me do the little plug thing here.
The album.
The CD is Car Button Cloth on Atlantic Records. I've listened to it all day. I got to tell you, I'm being honest about this. I like it. I like it a lot. And in fact, I think you're going to be doing my favorite cut off this right now, and it is titled
The Outdoor Type.
Let's do it.
Always had a roof above me, I always paid the rent, and I never set foot inside a tent. I couldn't build a fire to save my life. I lied about being the outdoor type. I never slept out underneath the stars. The closest that I came to that was one time my car broke down for an hour in the suburbs at night. I lied about being the outdoor type. Too scared to let you know you knew what you were looking for. I lied until I fit the bill. God bless the great indoors. I lied about being the outdoor type. I never owned a sleeping bag, let alone a mountain bike. I can't go away with you on a rock climbing weekend. What if something's on TV and it's never shown again? It's just as well I'm not invited. I'm afraid of heights. I lied about being the outdoor type. I never learned to swim, I can't grow a beard or even fight. I lied about being the outdoor type.
Time once again for a communion of commerce. We'll be right back.
This is the Spud Goodman Show.
Good! So you think this woman is lying?
All I know is I remember when I was in like the 6th grade and I got sent home for the 10th or 11th time for disturbing my neighbors, and he told me it will never happen again.
You mean you would never get in trouble in school again?
No, he said he'd never have another kid. I guess I pushed him over the edge.
Sometimes it takes more than a village to raise a kid, Mr. Goodman.
So what happened?
Well, he had a vasectomy.
And it was probably for the best.
Doesn't this woman know?
I guess she's gonna be pretty embarrassed, huh?
You know, this sort of thing happens in TV all the time, but it's sort of unusual for them to go after the star's father.
Suppose I should take it as a compliment, you know, that I've arrived, so to speak.
The cover of People magazine would be more to my taste.
You think I should talk to her, Mr. Goodman?
Yeah, let her have her moment in the sun.
Say, Spud, how come you never had kids?
Well, I'm not totally opposed to having a kid, but when I think back on what I put my parents through growing up, hey man, Hard Time at Rikers Island sounds like more fun.
You know, Mr. Goodman, I've seen the movie The Omen like 14 times. As the demon seed of your family, I think the chances of you passing that on to your offspring are really minimal.
Well, that's nice to know.
Our next guest has come a long way since his days as the Boz at the University of Oklahoma and later the Seattle Seahawks of the NFL. Now doing the thespian thing, say hello to Brian Bosworth. Yeah, that guy.
Now, after being out of football for a few years, I was just curious, do you ever experience the desire to, like, do a serious hit on somebody, like walking down the mall, or take the postman up, postman delivering the mail at the porch? What do you think?
You really haven't been out where I live lately, have you?
No, you're on the beach, aren't you?
When they see me coming down, they go the other way, because I've knocked a few people down my direction.
Okay. Have you gotten a desire to tackle people totally out of your system?
No, probably never will. You know, it's one of those things that's inbred. Yeah, I gotta hit somebody. I need to hurt somebody.
Plant them right there, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you signed with the Seattle Seahawks, a lot of people thought you got elephant bucks at that time.
Elephant butt?
Bucks.
Oh, bucks.
But looking around the NFL right now, the money being tossed around, that was like home improvement loan city.
Big time.
What's your take on the money going down now?
It's outrageous, isn't it? But I tell you what, knowing what you take away from the game of football, will I ever say that any football player has ever overpaid? Because football, first of all, the salaries are not guaranteed like they're in baseball. You got a guy that's making $11 million. or hitting the ball and running around the bases and drinking on Friday and Saturday night, and he's playing on those days too. I mean, that to me is not, you know, a commitment to a sport or a lifestyle. Football players take away from the game devastating injuries that they live with for the rest of their lives.
But is having a hip replacement operation or knee reconstruction any more painful than getting your TV show canceled after 1 week? I don't think so. Having been there myself, I say this racket delivers way more pain just reading the overnight Nielsen ratings. What's more scary, getting double teamed by a pulling 300-pound line, maybe 2 of them, or like doing a love scene with tongues and stuff? What do you think?
What do you think?
Well, okay, enough said. Hey, what was your take on the? This is a deep question. What was your take on the Kiss reunion tour? What do you think? Was that frightening?
First of all, I'm a huge Kiss fan.
That's for the record.
Nurse.
Okay.
I had every Kiss fan. I knew how to, you know, back in school. You
did the makeup?
Yeah, I didn't do the makeup.
Okay, all right.
I wore the pumps.
Okay, all right.
But I didn't do the makeup. I got some spandex.
Got a major tongue going too?
You know, I can't do the tongue, but I can spit the fire.
Okay.
I can spit the fire.
I just kind of wonder what we're all going to, in modern society, we're going to have to prepare ourselves for, like Willie and Lester, the '72 Lakers, like Tom Arnold and Roseanne getting back together. This reunion thing, it's kind of picking up steam all around. You notice that?
I have noticed that. A lot of the old shows are coming back.
Right. And if some brain-dead movie studio weasel ever gives the green light for a big-screen remake of those sniveling whiners on 30-something, may God strike me dead. Did you ever think that you'd have like personal assistants and be demanding Evian and a muffin at the snap of a finger and have people like drop and get those things for you?
Wait a minute. I don't take advantage of people.
But you have those people. You have people.
They are at my fingertips.
Okay, thank you.
And they don't do that. They wash my car. They clean my clothes.
I like that.
But I never ask them to get me water.
Okay, all right, fine. Your most memorable moment at this point as a human, what do you think?
As a human? Besides the birth, the whole birthing thing?
I heard that's, for a lot of people, is fairly memorable. Yeah, let's go with that.
Pretty traumatic.
You have 2 children?
You're talking about my children's.
Oh, that's right. Are you talking about your own?
My own.
Oh, well, that's okay. We're talking egocentric.
Have the ability to go back and think about their own birthing experience.
I've never heard that one. That's the first. I like that.
I saw
you have kids though too, right?
It was in my eyes. I couldn't see. He's a doctor. Yeah, but I do have 2 little girls, beautiful, and the birth of my first child. Not taking away anything from the birth of my second child was probably the biggest experience emotionally for me as a human.
Maybe I should change the subject.
Mr. Brian Bosworth, I want to thank you very much. Maybe we can go on over here and do a little tackling drills. What do you think?
Let's do it. It's up to you. I'm going to have to apologize right now for anything that might happen to you physically. And if you got insurance, that would help too.
I got yeah, okay.
Will Sparky be ruined by a frivolous paternity suit? The exciting answer when we return.
This is the Spud Goodman Show.
Did I ever tell you about that?
Samuel, I thought about getting a vasectomy. Since I don't have a girlfriend and all, I just thought maybe it might be more cost-effective if I just went without for the time being.
Well, my biological clock is ticking, and I can't tell you how much I'd love to have a child in my life.
Okay, guys, well, that's taken care of.
What do you mean, Uncle Sparky?
You took the blood test?
Nah, my attorney got her to drop the paternity suit. All it took was 1 phone call.
What did he say to her?
Did he mention habeas corpus or nolo contendere?
Say what?
Oh, my cable company just got court TV. Well, I watch it every day.
I watch that channel too, and I love those outfits the judges wear. Basic black, simple, but elegant.
No, all my mouthpiece suggested that she focus her energies in another direction.
Like where, Sparky?
Like David Hasselhoff's old man. Now that is major bread. This woman, get this woman actually thought we Goodmans were loaded. Can you believe that?
Well, why didn't she go after Spud instead of you, Uncle Sparky?
Yeah, he's the one with his own TV show.
Because the lawyer figured there was no court in this land that would buy Spud as being intimate with a live, breathing woman. So, naturally, she went after me.
Yeah, you're probably right, Sparky. I mean, that would be a tough sell. Not even Robert Shapiro or Johnny Cochran could pull that one off.
We are, as they say in the television industry, out of time. So maybe, just maybe, we could try this again next week. You don't have to give me an answer right now. You can kick it around during the week. Discuss it with your loved ones if needed. And hope to see you same time, same channel. Toodles. Once again, from the Lemonheads, Evan Dando.
This is the place where I save face. This is the spot where I jump off. This is the bar where I lose heart. Over the pain and I'm past the bleeding. It's not the tracks, it's where they're leading. This is my best King Carnivore. This is my scream, it's just a dull roll. These are my hands, I've shown you before. Over the pain and I'm past the bleeding. It's not the tracks, it's where they're leading.